Hey everyone, and welcome to a new sound check. We're done, Ozzy. We were going to do GNR, but Scott's schedule kind of conflicted with everything. He wanted to do the GNR, so we're going to do a quick, short discography of one of your favorite bands.
My favorite band.
Your favorite band. What a great episode to start you on the sound check train.
Yeah, we didn't want to cut Scott out of Guns N' Roses because we know how he feels.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Scott, you should fit your schedule. Anyway, we're kidding. We're kidding. Anyway, so we're gonna do Nirvana.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know from the the title of the video.
Title's down there.
Well, if you click the video and you say, "Oh, what's this?" I'll click. Usually, it's on top of the thumbnail. Anyway, we're not talking about it. We're going to talk about Bleach and Nevermind by the band Nirvana.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bleach. You want to just start on Bleach? Just start right away, or did you want to say anything about Nirvana or anything like that?
I haven't found a Nirvana song I didn't like, so let's go.
I have, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's just go right into Bleach. Bleach came out June 15th, 1989, and was produced by, you know all this information.
It's produced by Jack Endino from Skin Yard. He became kind of a de facto grunge producer at the time because he worked at Sub Pop.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
This guy knows all about Nirvana. I was like, I gotta do some research before we do this episode. You're like, I know it.
Well, I didn't know what you were going to research.
It was just that. Anyway, so this came out in 1989. It's their debut album, Bleach. It's got a cool little cover. It's like a negative frame.
Yeah, it's a picture
filter.
of the band. And what's funny is there's a guy in there people don't recognize.
Isn't he the rhythm guitar player? There's a rhythm
He's
guitar
a second guitar player on the record.
Jason Everman.
Jason Everman, who was only there for Bleach, and he ended up leaving. He actually put up a lot of the money for the record.
Because that box, what was it called? The one that has the 4 discs and is a DVD.
With the Lights Out.
With the Lights Out. They have the DVD that has like a lot of like kind of like their road trip stuff, and he's in it. I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah, he's cool. He ended up just leaving the band on his own accord. It wasn't like he got fired like somebody else on this record.
You mean Chad Channing?
Chad Channing.
That is a name.
He ended up getting replaced by Dave Grohl on the next album. But we'll get there.
Never heard of him.
Chad Channing is cool.
I never heard Dave Grohl.
Oh, never heard of him?
Never.
Well, we'll get to him.
Who's Dave Grohl?
So this lineup is Kurt Cobain on guitar and vocals.
Yes.
Chris Novoselic, Chad Channing, and Jason Everman.
Yes.
And this is the first record that most people don't remember, but now have since uncovered.
And it's a much different album than most of their songs. You can see hints of where they were going for Nevermind. You can see hints like Love Buzz.
Which is a cover.
And School.
Yeah. Love Buzz being the lead single, that was a cover.
About a Girl.
About a Girl, which is the song everybody knows off the record.
Yeah, I'm saying like that's where you can see like, okay, I can see where they're going with Nevermind. But then they go into like sludgy punk.
Yeah, I love Blue, which is the first song.
Like someone told me it was like, it's like their, more manic Melvins kind of album, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
I can see where the comparison is.
I think it's even the guitar tone. I feel like that's what they mean.
But yeah, I don't feel it's very Melvins in my opinion.
Because then I listen to the Melvins afterwards. I'm like, no, no, it's not. Okay, so what we do here, we usually do like favorite tracks, the hits, our least favorite tracks, the skips, and a hidden gem that people don't know much about and they should.
Okay.
So let's just do what do we think is what's our personal favorite song on here?
Oh, you go first.
I like Negative Creep a lot.
Negative Creep is great.
It's a simple song.
Most people become much more familiar with that if they look at Live at Reading or at Live at the Paramount. It's
just so angry.
Yeah.
And so it's
it's a great riff.
It's that sludgy chugging kind of riff. It's kind of like that. And it's like, I'm a negative creep, and I'm stoned. And it gets more and more insane as you go. I like this song so much.
It's got that trademark Kurt Cobain, just brutal kind of anger that comes out in the vocals. Like that I think that, like, he is a talented singer in his own right, even though it always came out super scratchy and, like, distorted. But that's one thing that he's been able to do that I don't think a lot of other people can replicate, is put that much emotion into what he's singing.
Yes.
Negative Creep is a great pick. I'm actually going to have to pick Blue. Blue is my favorite song. I love the opening.
It's a good song.
Yeah, I just love, because it's the most detuned song that they put out, as far as I know. I think it's in like drop C or something. And I've heard rumors that it's very like Celtic Frost influenced. That they were listening to a ton of Celtic Frost before they made that song. I know, it's crazy.
It's amazing.
But I really love the opening track. It sucks me into the rest of the album every time.
Yes. I think my least favorite song... I don't like Floyd the Barber that much.
Really?
I don't like that much.
I like Floyd the Barber. But I can see where you're getting at.
Sifting is also another one I can live without.
Let me see here. This is hard because I like all the songs.
Yeah, Bleach is like the one I had to look at the track list since I forgot most of the songs.
You know, I'm actually gonna have to agree. I think Floyd the Barber might be the weakest song in my opinion. It's the one I'm most apt to skip, except for maybe. I'm trying to remember if it was. I think it was Paper Cuts. Might be the other one.
Yeah, that one's not great.
Yeah. So those are the ones I'm most apt to skip if I'm in a rush.
Now,
but I love all the songs.
Keep in mind, we are not saying About a Girl because come on. I mean, come on, that's the hit of the album. I mean, we're not gonna. I don't want to say About a Girl is the hit of the song because it is, obviously.
I mean, it's the most well known.
That's why I picked Negative Creep because,
it's the most well known. It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
There's several songs on here. In fact, if we're going into hidden gems, I can start that off.
Start it.
My favorite song on here. Let me see. Or my favorite not well known song. It would be Mr. Mustache.
That was mine. That's mine.
And it's just such a great noodly track. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
It's going, but it's this crazy riff that he does. And it's really fast-paced. And, in fact, years and years ago, I was in a band that was going to cover that song.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's just really cool. I mean, you get that trademark, like, Kurt Cobain's almost nonsense lyrics.
Yeah.
Because he's known for just kind of jotting down lines and then just throwing them together because they sound cool.
Yes.
So I would have to go Mr. Mustache as my...
Can't go wrong with that because that was mine too. So, Mr. Mustache is our hidden gem. Go listen to it.
Definitely.
Bleach, this is an album that's their dirtier, their most raw, their most dirty. Mm-hmm. It's not polished. It's not polished as like the other two albums. Well, and Euro could be debated on that.
But it was done in a rush. It had that sound quality on purpose. That's why they got Jack and Dino, because it's kind of very minimal. I mean, the record only costed I think it was like $600 or something.
That's cheap. For then, that's cheap.
Yeah, they did it in
For now, that's cheap too.
Well, they did it in like 3 days or something. Like the whole album. They just scrapped together a bunch of money, made an album, and then went on tour for 2 years.
Yes.
So I think it's one of those, like, it's a hidden gem album, in my opinion. There's just a lot to love.
Yeah. All right, so that's Bleach. So let's move on to Nevermind. It's a little album. It was, I think it was one of their best albums. I think
I think I think they might have heard of it.
Yeah.
Could.
I know you've probably never seen the cover of the
if
baby.
You could if it's something new, like, go ahead and leave a comment.
Yeah. So Nevermind came out. What was it? September 24th, 1991. I was 1.
Yep.
I was 1 year old, so.
I was not. It's produced by Butch Vig from
Yes.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Great producer. And with this one, they wanted to get more of a poppy tone.
I don't think Kurt did. Did Kurt really want a poppy tone? Okay.
Kurt's.
I thought it was too. I heard that he thought it was too studio. He felt like it wasn't raw enough. That's why I didn't.
I mean, he would push back on some of this stuff, but I think as a band,
wasn't there a story like you said that Butch Vig was like the Beatles would do it?
Yeah. So he would sucker Kurt into doing things because the Beatles did it, and he's the biggest Beatles fan.
You can see in this album.
And they do a lot of stuff. Like Butch would be like, "Hey, I need you to go in and do another vocal track and layer it," and he wouldn't want to, and so he'd say, "John Lennon did it."
I guess you're right.
And so he would go in. But no, they wanted, I think, a little more of a poppier sound to it. Not necessarily like... They just wanted somebody who can bring a more brightness to the tracks and add more to it.
You can see a lot of that Kurt Cobain was heavy influence on Beatles because it's all about the melody.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bands don't understand. It's about the melody about it. So that's why the Beatles works. Everyone says, oh, the Beatles are overrated. The Beach Boys, melody. They all do melody. That's what catches on.
And all these songs, Dave Grohl takes over drums. Jason Everman's gone. So it's just a three-piece. And this is a powerful album.
This is a power trio, if anything. Because everyone, Chris Novoselic is a very underrated bass player.
Oh, yeah. And Kurt...
Guitar and vocals.
Great guitar playing on this one.
Dave Grohl's insane.
And
on
Dave
drums.
Grohl coming off of, I believe he was in Scream right before this, and comes into the band. He hits the drums harder than most drummers I can think of off the top of my head. He hits them so hard, and he's so good. And at that point, he was on point.
Yes.
And he talks about in interviews that all the songs were simplified. They kind of wanted to make it like a kid could play these songs. In some.
It also has like a little punk tone to it, a little punk.
It's very punk, and when things are simplified, that's where kind of that catchiness hits.
Yes.
And that's where that melody kicks in, and which is why this album is so well known, so well remembered, and it hit at the perfect time. I mean, this is only a few months before 10 by Pearl Jam comes out.
Yes.
So you just had two, like, back-to-back, like, huge records.
Yeah.
And this is the one that knocked Michael Jackson off the top. I believe Michael Jackson either had Dangerous or Bad at number 1. So, I mean, it's a Titan for a reason, and there's a lot of great tracks on here.
We're not for a favorite track. We're not gonna do "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
No,
because
and it's not my favorite track.
But I'm just saying, like, we're not gonna. It's not gonna be on the list because it's gonna be in everyone's list. We're not gonna do that.
It's an iconic track and it's a great track, but it's not my favorite.
Favorite track? My God. Do you have one? I can't think of one right now.
Let me.
There's too many.
Take a quick look.
There's
here.
too many. I could go in Bloom if one. I could come as you are. I could do Lithium.
I'm gonna have to say my favorite one would be.
Oh, I got one.
I like Lounge Act a lot. So I'm gonna say Lounge Act.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of a little off the wall.
That one's gonna be like a hidden gem for me.
Yeah, I mean it is kind of a hidden gem.
Man.
Because it's gonna be hard for me to pick a hidden gem after that. But Lounge Act is great. Just kind of an interesting kind of rhythm and melody to it.
Man, right now, here's the two I'm in between. Something in the Way.
It's a fantastic song.
And Territorial Pissings.
That was going to be my least favorite, actually.
Okay, that's gonna be a good debate. I'll do Something in the Way because I think it's like only two notes on the guitar.
Yeah, well, I think it was like. I think the guitar actually didn't have very
many
strings.
And when I say Something in the Way, I mean like the Something in the Way song, not the Silence, not when they in the later pressings they do Endless Nameless. Not doing that. I'm talking about the song.
Yeah, just the song "Something in the Way," not the hidden track.
It's like it kind of encapsulates the mood of Nirvana.
That probably would have been a close second for me. It's such a great.
But this album is so like I could easily went In Bloom. I could easily went Breed.
Lithium is fantastic.
Could have went Lithium.
Yeah.
So Han, okay, so that's because I was gonna do Territorial Pistons, but it's your least favorite. So I want to debate you on the why it's least favorite.
It's between that and Stay Away, but I like Stay Away a lot too.
Oh come on! Even tell me like that build up. It's like, of course you had Cobain doing like that weird out of tune like country song. I think he was singing that. You know. And then, like, it has that guitar, and then the drums start kicking in. You mean to tell me you don't like that?
It's good. There's not a Nirvana song I don't like.
I know, I'm just saying, that song is just like...
But it's my least favorite on the album.
It's a great song to run to, a great song to work out to, it's a great song to just...
But for me, like, a better version of that is Breed.
That's a good point.
Breed is a up-tempo... just aggressive song. Territorial Pissings is fine. Like, it's good.
Okay, you just said Breed. Now I'm like, okay.
But, yeah.
I can see what you mean.
Like, it takes a minute. Like, you know the song as soon as it hits, because it has that part in the very beginning. But, like, to me, it's... The way I have to do Nirvana is the song that I'm most apt to skip.
Okay.
So Territorial Pissings is the one I'm most apt to skip on the record.
Guess my least favorite. On a Plane.
Really?
I could live without that song. Like every song is like great. Polly's okay, but once you look into the idea of Polly and what it's about, you're like, it's messed up, Kurt.
It's a heavy song.
Territorial Pissings, Drain You, Lounge Act, Stay Away. On a Plane, I feel like after all those songs, it's just like, it could easily just been on the Incesticide.
I mean, I really like it. I think it's a good lead into something in a way because it's kind of mellowing out, and it's a lighter song. I think they even played it unplugged.
I just don't like On a Plane that much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a bad song. It's just But I think for the album, it's just not as... I feel like all these songs like A. No one's like a B. You know, it's like, it's not up to snuff with other songs. It's not up to snuff to my hidden gem, Drain You.
Stole the word right out of my mouth, man.
Drain You, man. That song is... No one talks about this song.
Drain You is my hidden gem.
Well, no one that's not a hardcore Nirvana fan talks about this song. But this song has to be talked about.
Yeah. It's... fantastic. It's great lyrics.
Good riff. Good bass. Good drums.
There's just nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
In fact, I've read in many things, like there was an interview that he hated Smells Like Teen Spirit, Kurt.
Of course he did.
He hated it. He hated it so much because it got so popular and people always wanted to hear it. And he's like, I'd rather play Drain You, which is my favorite, song at the moment to play. He's like, but who knows? Maybe if that was super popular instead of Smells Like Teen Spirit, I probably wouldn't like it either.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think it's a point, like, towards the end, like, that was his favorite song.
I can see it. It's a good song.
It's great.
But yeah, like, the other songs we didn't talk about. I don't know, we didn't talk about In Bloom. Classic.
Great video, too.
Come As You Are. Classic.
Yeah.
Breed. Awesome. Lithium. Classic. Like, I'm saying, like, we didn't talk about In Bloom and Come As You Are and Lithium because do we have to? Do we have to talk about those songs? Those songs are classics.
You can hear just about every one of these songs on the radio.
That's what I'm saying. The very Beatles.
There's like Beatles 5 or 6 singles that just came off this record.
It's so classic
when it came out. But since then, like, any one of these songs could be played on a radio station.
I feel like this is like kind of like the Fates. Because, what happens with Kurt and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I feel like that, because they're like, the Fates know that they're going to have a short discography and a career. So let's make these albums, like, full of hits.
Yeah.
Like these songs, like if you look at this, like you would think Nirvana. If you don't know anything about the album structures and you just know all the songs, probably thinking probably had like 10 albums.
Yeah.
But now you're like,
based on like how many hits
3.
are on an average album.
Only 3 in one compilation album of old stuff they didn't use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
then Unplugged.
well,
and Alive.
They did well. Alive was different.
Yeah.
And Unplugged was just a live album that was actually released after he was dead.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
There is. It's just amazing to see like somebody put out that much great material that quickly.
Yeah.
And they get more experimental as time goes on. So when we do more the next episode,
the finale episode.
You start seeing how he starts going in that direction, and if you look at a lot of unreleased stuff, and then like With the Lights Out, you start seeing kind of where he was going as a songwriter,
Yeah.
and it just you don't think it could have stopped because he was just always on the cusp of something else.
So yeah, that's our thoughts on those 2 albums. Let us know in the comment section below. What's your favorite track? Or you love Nirvana, whatever. Which we also forgot.
Waiting for somebody to tell me how overrated it all is.
We forgot to do this because we do this all the time. How would you, starting with these 2 albums, how would you rank them? Like, I would say number 1 for me, the best, Nevermind.
Yeah.
Then Bleach.
Nevermind would be number 1, and then Bleach.
Yeah.
Just on quality.
Yeah.
Like, I find myself listening to Bleach sometimes a little more often because Nevermind's everywhere.
Yeah.
All the songs you can listen to at any time.
Also, Nevermind has the better album cover.
Yeah.
Classic.
It's a classic album cover. I like Bleach's album cover.
Yeah.
As well.
It matches the tone.
Yeah.
And Nevermind matches its tone because it's like the baby trying to chase a dollar. And this is a more polished studio album.
And they're in the deep end.
Yes.
But it's... You just can't... This album's arguably one of the perfect ones. Like, it's just that good.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to beat. It's like Michael Jackson's Bad. It's like, it's like Songs in the Key of Love. It's just one of those albums that's just like
Purple
top to
Rain,
bottom,
yeah.
like let
us know in the comment section down below what you think and all that. Are we overhyped?
Or what are your rankings?
Yeah. So next week we're gonna do in 2 weeks we're doing Incesticide. I know it's a compilation album, but it has a lot of unreleased stuff they didn't use, like Molly's
It's a lot of B-sides and
also we want to make this even.
Yeah. And then the last one being In Utero, their last studio album.
Which makes me In Utero I always consider is the anti-Nevermind.
Yeah, it's him bending the entirely opposite way.
Yeah. So until next time, I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks for the next sound check.